Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and I wanted to do this video, and you'll notice it's not a voiceover, so sorry if y'all wanted a voiceover, but and also sorry for the hand because I want to use my other more realistic hand, but I cannot because I don't have the correct tape that keeps things kind of all together. So for right now, we are going to be using this hand until I can get some carpet tape. And this is the trainer hand that I use in school. Of course, it's a brand new one. I purchased it for this office just because of the way that it holds. I don't have to worry about all the, it does pop off, but not as bad as the other hand. So we'll just have to kind of go with the flow here. I'm going to turn my sound off. I just want to say Happy New Year's to everybody. I am filming this on New Year's Eve, and yeah, we are just going to go through a few things. I don't do a whole lot on New Year's Eve, so let me see if maybe I need to, no, okay, I do need that one, but I don't know if I need the other lights. Let me go check and see because it's kind of bright in here. Alright, that works. I just want to make sure there is enough light in here, but I don't want it too bright, so here we go. Alright. So I just wanted to record a video of like I don't know if it's the most common mistakes made by people that are starting out, or if I want to call it just my mistakes. But I know a lot of the mistakes that I have made, other people have made. So it's kind of a both type thing. So when I first started, I had huge issues with not only lifting, but applying my acrylic and all of that. It took me quite a while to get used to as far as liquid powder ratio. So I learned quite a bit in school, and I just want to kind of show you what I do and how I've taken care of that. Now, when I was in school, like when I first started out, I was not prepping the nail correctly. So basically we want to show you how you want to prep the nail correctly. I am left-handed. I probably should have put the camera on the other side, but this is what we're dealing with today. So I am going to, okay, hang on. Okay, we're going to start this over again at slightly a different angle because it is focusing on my fingernails or my fingers and not the actual nail. Let me tuck these nails under, and we're just going to work with this pointer finger here. So what I mean by prepping the nail correctly is you want to get the softer side. Anytime you're working with the natural nail, you want to use the softer grit more than the other grit, oh my gosh, more than this grit. This is good for like acrylics, but you don't want to be using this on the natural nail. So I believe this is a 100/180. So on this side it's 180, the other side is 100. So basically all I want to do is shape this nail after, because I clipped it. I did clip it. These nails do come longer. So I did clip it, but you kind of want to shape the nail. Okay, and after I do that, you want to prep the cuticle. So you want to push back the cuticle, which here is the cuticle. It's not, of course, it's not a real person. You're not going to notice it. So you want to push back the cuticle, and then what you want to do is you either want to take the E file, which is this, and you don't want this bit in it. You want to use a cuticle bit, and a little case here with all of my bits. And let's zoom out for you. There it is. This is the bit that I use for getting the extra cuticle or whatever that is on the nail plate. You want to be very, very careful. Use diamond bits. These are okay to use. Do not use any bits that have teeth on them. So I use this to get all the extra stuff off the nail plate, and then I use this round diamond bit, which is this one. I don't know if it's going to focus on it, but I'm sure you've seen it in other there we go. Focus on that. There we go. I'm sure you've seen it on other channels, but that's what I use for the cuticle. And hopefully I can get my daughter here to help me, you know, help show you what I use what I do as far as cuticle work. But then I use this bit right here, and I kind of prep it for the natural nail by just kind of sanding it down, and then I touch it to make sure. You want to go at a low speed. You don't want to go, if you're working with a natural nail, you don't want to use this on any more than a 300 RPMs. So what I do, let me kind of zoom back in here. So what I do is I grab the finger, or the finger, and I just kind of go over the natural nail. I think this is reverse, right? Yeah, it's on reverse. I'm left-handed, so obviously it needs to be in reverse. So if y'all are not comfortable using an e-file, then by all means use a regular file, and I'll show you how to use that on the natural nail. And that's it. All you want to do is take the shine off the nail. So that is turned off. And then you want to, I'm not going to show you guys how I am going to apply acrylic or whatever, but I'm not going to show you how I shape the acrylic. I just want to show you, talk to you about things that I have kind of made mistakes on, because I did not properly prepare the natural nail. I had lifting, and you want to be sure to prepare it correctly, or you will have lifting. Like my sister's nails, when I first did them, they completely popped off. When I first did my nails, they completely popped off. Now these have been on there for a few days, so I mean, let's see, Tuesday, it's Thursday, so a couple of days they've been on, but they're not lifting. Nothing's going on with them. And they're pretty good. So I tend to get about a couple, 2-3 weeks, maybe 4. My nails tend to be prone for lifting. So I do prep them a little better. But yeah, so yeah, those they're doing good. So if you want to just use the nail file, which a lot of people do, it is not an issue. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's bad. You want to prep it first, because let me tell you, a paper cut with one of these things is not fun. I've had one, it hurt like hell, and it hurt for days after. So you want to just kind of prep the file by taking all of the edges off. So they call this seasoning. So you just kind of want to just rub it, against the file, just to get the edges so that they don't cut you. I've been cut before. I didn't ever prep them, because I was just like, okay, being lazy. And I didn't do it with mine. I always did it with my clients, okay? I didn't do it with mine, and I cut myself, and it wasn't pretty. So then you just want to go over the nail like this, and all you're doing is taking the shine off, like you do with the drill, but this is just with the file. And you do that. Simple. It's the same thing. And then, of course, we're going to but we're going to smooth any edges you have from cutting down. And there you go. So we're going to work on these two today. Show you a little bit about liquid to powder ratio, a little bit about what I do to prep and everything. So what I do here, I learned with forms. I'm not going to teach forms today. It can be frustrating if there's a lot to it. That can be a separate video. So we're going to just do tips. Tips are really easy. There's nothing wrong with using tips. A lot of people use tips. Actually, these nails right here were done with tips. So, I mean, it's not a problem if you use tips. Some people like to sculpt. Some people love to use tips. I personally love to sculpt, but some nail beds, when you're trying to sculpt, you have to adjust the form to it, and it can get frustrating. So we are just going to use the tips today. So these are the Macart tips. These are just, I mean, I'll leave the link below. They're $9.99. I use several different tips. I like these if I want to do like a tapered square or anything like that. If I want to do a coffin or a stiletto, I use a completely different tip, but today we're just going to use this. So when you are checking to see if so if you want to use these, okay, if you want to use tips, you want to get one that isn't too big, one that isn't too small. Now, it's more detrimental, okay, to use one that is too small than one that is too big. You can use one that is slightly bigger and trim it down, but you need to file it down. So what I do is, this one is way too big, of course. I did this on purpose. So you see it doesn't go to, or it goes way past the, not free edge, but way past the wall of, sidewall of the nail. And it's kind of hanging out a little bit there. So that one isn't going to fit. Okay, one that is too small would be this one right here. This is going to be way too small. See? From sidewall, and it's got a large piece missing right here. That is way too small. You don't want to use that. What's that? That was a 7. I know what tips go well on these, on this trainer hand, so I know which one I'm gonna pick out. It's a 5. Now a 5 is too big, but a 6 is too small. So this one goes from sidewall to sidewall here, and then it flares out this way. The natural nail is rounded. These are flatter. Sorry, don't take my word for that. Sorry, these are flatter. You will get some nail beds that are flat, kind of like this, but most nail beds do have a slight C curve to them, which is why these are curved. So this one's gonna flare out this way because it's a flatter nail bed. So I'll show you how to do that. Now, when you're doing when you're putting your tips on, and I'm gonna get 2 because we are gonna do a couple of different things on here. We're gonna shut this down. So when you're using the glue, I like to use brush on glue. I do not like to use the squeezable glue. Now I do give like the ones without a brush, like these are the Macart ones. I do give these out when I do press on nails for some of my friends. I do not I don't do them, you know, to sell them. I just do them for friends every now and then. So I like to use the brush on glue. This one is just a nail glue that I got on Amazon, or actually I stole this from my sister. She got it on Amazon and I was like, I like that nail glue. So, and I didn't have my Young Nails. I do have a Young Nails nail glue, and I didn't have that one. I had a random one that I think you get it from Sally's, and it's awful. Okay, it is awful. It did not stick to the nail. It's so frustrating. So I like this one, and that one was brush on too, but this one was just a better glue. So all you do is just kind of rub it on the tip like that. Okay, you want to make sure that you're straight. You're gonna place it on there, hold it for about 5 seconds, and then let go. Now this is pretty straight. You're seeing it at an angle, so it doesn't look exactly straight, but it's pretty straight. And we're going to do that with the next one. So you want to get the glue, put it on the edge. That's why I love brush-on glues. Flip it, and then align it here so it is adhering. Hold it for 5 seconds. And then let go. So it has contact on both nails. I'm going to work with this nail first because that's the one that I glued on first. So we're going to put that one down. Now the tips always have this little kind of nub here, and it's just from when, you know, where they were on a form. When they form these, they form them in like a long like line, and then they're just attached to the plastic. So all I do is just kind of file that down, and then you have, like I said, you have these here on the side, so you want to come back and file those down. And you're still going to use the 180 grit file so that it doesn't hurt the natural nail. So there it is. It still has, or it looks like it has some poking out, but it's not. It's now kind of glued to the sidewall. So we're going to do the same with this one here. You want to just sand that down and do the same over here. Now what we do in school is we like to even kind of, there's always a ledge right here. So what you want to do, come on, focus back on there. There's always like a little ledge right there. So what you want to do is either take your file and kind of bevel the edge down, or you want to take your e-file and bevel it down. I use my e-file. In our practical, we cannot use an e-file. We have to use the nail file. So I do practice that too, but I prefer using the e-file. But again, you have to go at a slow speed because you don't want to damage the nail. And all you're doing is you're not even touching the natural nail. You're just beveling the edge of the tip. See, and now it's more even with the nail. So you want to do, oops, and that is why us nail techs, you always see scuffs on their nails. So, because I'm always getting it with the e-file. Okay, so that is as far as prepping and putting tips on the natural nail. Now you are ready to not put acrylic on it yet. So what you want to do is you want to get a dehydrator. This is I have a different dehydrator. I don't want to get it right now, so I'm going to use this one. This is the Kira Sky Jelly Tips This is part of their set. This is the number 1. It's prep. It's a dehydrator. It's to prep the nail. It's to get everything ready. So you want to just put this on the natural nail. You can get any dehydrator. You can use Swipe. Young Nails has the Swipe. You can get that on Amazon, and there's a Mia Secret dehydrator, which I have and I actually like, so you can use that. But those are the ones that I have right now, so I use that. I do have Swipe coming. I haven't even tried it. I don't know what, you know, I can't recommend or like say, oh, it's great, because, you know, I haven't used it. But a lot of other YouTubers, nail tubers use that. Okay, so I'm going to now use a bonding agent. Now there are non-acid primers. There's acid primers, which you do not want to use. I know some people still use it. I don't use it. This is a non-acid primer. This is Young Nails Protein Bond. Sorry, man, I am just kind of monotone today. Anyway, this is Young Nails Protein Bond. I love, love, love this primer. You can also use, there's a Kira Sky one. There is a Not Polish one. I don't have Not Polish because I've always really just used this one. I do have another primer, the Ravi primer, and that one's actually really, really good too. So I like that one. But I just pretty much, I've got a lot of the Young Nails Protein Bond because I think when I first started school or started nails, I bought like a 6-pack of it. So that is for that. So you want to have the Protein Bond on there. I always Protein Bond twice. So you wait for it a little bit to dry. Once you do all 5 fingers, by the time, or all 10 fingers, by the time you're on the 10th finger, you can go back to the first hand and redo them. But since I'm only doing 2 fingers, then you need to wait for it to dry. So we're gonna do that. And now you are ready for acrylic. So I wanted to use an acrylic that was easy to see on camera. So we are gonna be using the Not Polish. Let's see, there we go. The Not Polish 2-in-1 powder, M119 in Royalty. It's just a blue. It is a beautiful blue. I love it. And we're just going to use that. Wow, Maria. Okay. I have this acrylic brush. I love these acrylic brushes. Okay, let me explain. I do like these acrylic brushes. I can't say love anymore, because these acrylic brushes break very, very, very easily. So this is a number 14. I prefer a 12 or a 10, but for today we can use a 14. As far as, as far as monomer goes, this is the Kira Sky EMA monomer. I've also used the Harmony Pro Adhesion. I actually like this monomer. And then, of course, I've tried the Ravi monomer and the Young Nails monomer. My brush fell. Okay, so I've tried a lot of different monomers. This one I like, so we're going to use it today. I'm just going to put a little bit in here, not too much, because I'm only showing you a little bit. Now, I'm going to zoom out here just to show you liquid to powder ratio, okay? So I'm zooming out here. Here's my liquid. Here's my powder. Now, I used to just do, sorry, there we go. I used to just do this, come out. It's like dripping wet. This is gonna suck. So, and then just kind of dip in, and then I'd hold it in. And then see how it's like not picking up at all? and that is like the world's biggest bead ever. So it's not staying on. I have way too much monomer on it. It is like falling off the brush, and there's way too much polymer on it, which is the acrylic. So it's going to be hard to manipulate. You don't want to use that. Now, what I do now is I just put the brush in here, wipe off here, come back in, dip it, and then you have your bead. Now, if it's too wet, you can see it is a little on the wet side. There we go. You can drain it like this before putting it on, and then you're going to come up here and you're gonna place the bead on the nail. So I like to start in the back. A lot of people start, you know, the 1, 2, 3 method. You have to do the 1, 2, 3 method when you are on, when you're doing your state boards. This is in Texas. I don't know how the other state boards are, but then you want to manipulate the bead. And I'm trying to get used to, it's warmer in here than it is at the school, so it is different. I haven't done nails here in my studio in quite a while, so you want to be sure that you're getting the edge. Now, there we go. Okay, so that is the start of this one. This one's set pretty well because it is warmer in here than it is in my school, and my school, it is very, very cold in there right now. During this, I'm assuming that during the summer it's going to be warm, so I'm going to have issues with it setting faster. But right now it's cold, so everything just kind of flows. So you've got to get used to, like I said, liquid to powder ratio, and then manipulating it before you, after you put it down. So then that is a good bead. You want to even it out here, and then, oops, you want to make sure that you are manipulating it before it sets, and you don't ever want to touch it with your hand. Now, I have a tendency to clean my acrylic, you know, underneath the nail or whatever if I need to with my fingernail, but you don't want to get in the habit of doing that because I've touched it with my hand before, and you really don't want to touch it with your hand. You also don't want to get it on your peeps like that. Okay. Your client. Oh my gosh, Maria, I think I'm delirious today. Anyway, so that is part of the nail, and I'm going to show you on the other hand what it looks like to do like a very wet bead, a very dry bead, and then, you know, you have to then manipulate it. This is a slightly wetter bead, but you can still kind of manipulate this one. And okay. You want to blend it in with everything else. And your goal is to get the minimum amount of filing. So you want it as smooth as possible. So you want to look at it from all angles. Let me take this. Okay. I'm going to zoom in here, and then we're going to go over here. So if you want to look at it from the side, oops, it has a pretty good taper. So you've got the apex here, and then it comes down here. So if there's any like spaces that you can see that need a little bit more acrylic, then you can do that. You also have sorry, you also can look to see if there are any like lumps in it. Like this one has a little bit of a lump on this side, and there we go. It has a little bit of a lump over here and a little bit over here. Other than that, I mean, it's a pretty decent nail. There isn't a whole lot of filing that you have to do, but I want to get a smaller bead. Okay, just a small bead, and we're gonna put it on here, and then we're just gonna blend it in with the nail. Now, I'm sure that if you guys have seen some of my earlier videos, I was not that great, and I'm not doing this, you know, to say, hey, look how good I am, you know, I'm just, you know, so great at this. I want you to come on this journey with me while I'm learning how to do this, because I want to show you that everybody starts somewhere and nobody's going to be perfect. Okay, so this is what I would call a decently sculpted nail. Okay, there are still some ridges in it and stuff, but I can come back and clean those off. So this is a pretty decently sculpted, not sculpted, but decently, you know, applied acrylic. Now we can, let's put that back there. Let's do this one. I want to show you what an acrylic, or I'm sorry, I'm just cleaning my brush here. Okay, I want to show you what a very wet bead would do, and it is warm in here, so it is going to set up a little bit faster, so I'm going to have to work quickly, but this would be a very wet bead. See how it's just flowing? Now in school, it's not this slow. In school, since it's very cold, it flows really, really quickly. It goes over the nail, or over the free edge. It goes it just flows everywhere. It's nothing like this, okay? This is actually not as bad as it is in school. So I'm just gonna kind of wipe all this off like this, and we can start with a slightly drier bead. Okay. I wonder if okay, don't break off your client's nail. I gotta remember, my other one does this too, that if it's bent too far back, I won't be able to manipulate it. So there we go. Now we'll do this one, because we'll do the thumb, because the thumb is not prepped or anything, so just kind of ignore the fact that it is not prepped. So we're gonna kind of show you right here. There we go. All right, I want to do a drier bead, so let me clean off my brush here. It's because this dry bead is, all right, this is going to be a drier bead. Now, first off, if you don't have enough monomer in your brush, it's going to end up looking like this. It will clog your brush. You will get so frustrated, then it won't come off. Oop, oop, oop. There, it came off. Okay, so this is a dry bead. You really can't manipulate it too much. Your bristles will get all this stuff in it, and then you'll try to compensate by getting, and this is what I used to do. I used to try to compensate by getting a monomer, getting my brush wet, and then doing this. And this is just, I mean, because I didn't know better. And now it's hard. It's, you know, everything's on one spot. You've got a bunch of monomer and acrylic over here. So try to wipe that off. You can't. And then you're just basically, you've got monomer all over the person's finger, which is not good because you can get contact dermatitis with this. So this is what I started out doing, and this is how I did it on my nails. Thank God I didn't do it with anybody else, but that's how I did it with my nails. And I'm not saying that my nails looked bad, because they looked okay for a beginner, but I'm kind of very, very shocked that I did not get contact dermatitis, because enough exposure to that and you're gonna have issues. So that is a big no-no. So you go over here to this one. This one is decent. This one was too wet. It's still curing. And this one is too dry, but I overcompensated with a lot of monomer, and I was able to manipulate it a little bit before it set. But it also, I had to like push in there so it would actually move. You want to have a decent bead to do your nail with. So, all right, hopefully this was enlightening for you guys. I am not going to file it down today. We can get into filing and shaping, all of that, next time. I just wanted to show you some of the mistakes that I made and some of the things that I have learned throughout my but throughout my journey kind of in school and everything. Just showing you that, you know, everybody comes from somewhere, okay, and just know that it takes practice. Like it was with makeup. Like I did, you know, whenever I started out with makeup, I was horrible at it. And I've got pictures to prove it if I can find them. Maybe I will put them up here. But I have pictures to prove it. I got better because I practiced more. I love doing nails. I can do this all day, every day, several times a day, and still not get tired of it. It's my outlet, my way of showing, you know, expressing my artistic side. I absolutely love it. And, you know, if that's what y'all want to do, then go for it. But if you want to learn how to do something, then put your all in it. Learn how to do it. Practice. I practice pretty much 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then I make videos for you guys. So, you know, it just goes to show that I am very, very, very passionate about this. So, yeah, so that is everything for today. I'm sorry I was very monotone in it. I was trying to figure out my words, figure out what I wanted to say, and it just was not coming out correctly. So, that is it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post it down below. If you have any suggestions for videos or anything for me, then let me know. Sorry I keep hitting the camera. That's just the way that it is. It's attached to my desk, so I'm sorry guys. But if this was a better angle, let me know, because I'm hoping that it was, and that it helps a lot better than, you know, just coming from the top. So anyway, thank you guys for coming along, and if you like this video, please if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.